Okay, we're on.
Hello, darlings. So we're back. It's just myself and Lars and Jacob.
Hello, everyone.
Hello.
Yeah. Unfortunately, Pascal's not with us. So it's just Goldilocks and the two bears this time. And so tonight we're going to start with Lars. Lars was going to take us through the sky, and then we're just going to go over all the stuff going on, because this is it. We're off. This is four-wheel drive. This is the tiger in the woods. This is the giant Puss in Boots. This is the spin is upon us, and it's all those who can find their heads. So Lars, over to you, darling.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
And welcome to the show. Are you with me as well, right, Victoria?
Yep, I'm here.
Cool.
Yes, and we can see your screen, so.
Yeah, so I will start up mention this red door, as Victoria has been talking about for a while, as Venus into red areas, Aquarius, sorry. The red door opens as it did at the Bull Arena at your place, right, Victoria?
Okay.
So I reckon this is the red door open with the heart when Venus enters into Aquarius. So we got Mercury out of retrograde, we got Venus into Aquarius, and so on. It will just start walking. And then we got Mars coming into Taurus fall at the 24th. And we got this full moon coming up into Leo at the 27th. So we got things going on. And that was yesterday. It was a beautiful full moon, if you were seeing it. From here, we mentioned this last time. So it was just to sum it up on when Mars enters here in Taurus and we had Venus into Aquarius. The next important day will be this 3-3, where Mars are conjuncting the Pleiades, the seven chakras, the seven sisters. So you got something to say to that, Victoria?
Seventh sister, last leg. It's the L. It's the tiger in the woods. It's the bully. It's the set off of the bull.
Sure.
It's Buffalo Bill. It's Odin. It's the last chance for the four times four wheel RR 1818 wheel drive set off to really scare people. It's the bully. It's the bully. Yeah, it's the bully coming in. Yeah,
coming in, right. And then we got on the 5th, we got Mercury Jupiter conjunction. The Tsar's been talking out here with Jupiter debilitated, and Mercury is in pretty good shape. So
that's the closing. That's the skull and bone cross. Yeah,
exactly. Coming up here, right? So speaking out for the empire, for the New World Order. So the 5th of March.
And the tiger, because Jupiter is, Jupiter is the yellow orange on the black Capricorn.
Yeah.
The ruthless.
The ruthless, yeah. And then we got the 13th coming up, where we got the new moon in Pisces, Aquarius, just under each other, and we got this Venus-Neptune conjunction. We got 4 in play right here. Attacking, or what we can call it, our dreams and imaginations. So Venus in Aquarius in good shape, and we got the Sun in Pisces, and the Moon in New Moon, which will settle later in Virgo when it comes around. So here things going to happen with the solar plexus and the heart and our imagination for this coming up. and we got Mercury almost into Aquarius coming up as well. So a lot of stuff going on. And then I have written down the 18th of some kind of notice as well, where Venus will enter into Pisces and be exalted. So big heart and the sun coming up and almost these 100% illuminated. And Victoria will talk about that when she will get the floor. And then we got the moon coming around. No, I forgot. It's the 17th. We got the moon in coming into. No, it is in Aries. Sorry, coming into Aries and shattering this female energy into the bully of the ram.
Yeah, Mercury is debilitated in detriment in Pisces, so
sure.
It's going to pick up when Mercury's in Aries and Venus is in exaltation in Pisces. That is that fairy Mercury Venus.
Sure. So, and I got this the 18th I talked about, where we got the Venus and Pisces exalted coming in, and then we got the 322 coming up, and then I won't go any further because it will be too much. And then we got Venus 100% illuminated and blinded by the light of the sun, attacking the throat chakra coming in as well later on. So we must come through the heart to get to the Father in heaven. And if Venus is blinded by the light, it's going to be hard, even though she's exalted right there. You've got something more to say about that, Victoria, I know.
Just from last week when I was talking about the film More, the Pink Floyd film More, it's all about, the whole point of that film is about being blinded by the lights. Mm-hmm. It's people in Ibiza blinded by the light. So I was thinking it was about Mercury blinded by the light that we're going to have as well. Mercury blinded by the sun is going to be invisible. But it's also this Venus at 100%. This is the end of her 18-month passage, the same as the North-South node, which is they spent 18 months in a sign, 18
months for a full circle.
18 years to go around, 18 months in a sign, and 18 is RR, Romulus Remus, Russian roulette, which we're playing now with the vaccines, full steam ahead, Midnight Express, the Railway Children, Puff, the Dragon. Yeah, this is the steam, this is the steam, the foggy steam of Pisces, Mars. Where's Mars now at this point? Mars
still on Aldebaran.
Right, yeah, well, Mars is not. So this is it. This is Puff. This is the steam. This is making Lucifer steam engine, which is not ether is not made with the dragon's burning steam. It's made with the love of the water waves. Of the diamond, I'll explain that later, but the wave in French is onde, the waves.
Sure.
So yeah.
Yeah, so we got the heart blinded by the light, and we got Mars and Aldebaran, which were barren, making.
I'm just letting my dog
sterile. Okay. She will be back. So not much is going on, but this is the passage, so this is the way. And as we have been talking about, we're heading for this 772, the 100 days from this spring equinox of 322. So once again, stay cool. Prepare your hearts and don't fall into the trap, which will be shown us. And they are pushing it really, really hard now. Just made a new law in Denmark pass through about vaccinations and epidemic law. and it will be rolled out tomorrow. So it's going to be exciting to see how that works out and what they will do about it. So things is rolling, and they will bring it in, no doubt about it. This fascist and totalitarian system all over the world. Everywhere it's the same. It's incredible. People can't see it. So
but those of us who are not in, this is why we all had to be ready for this time, is because we are literally flying now. We are above it. We've got our wings. We found our wings, and we're here to, you know, to help those still on all fours, animals crucified upside down with the masks. We're here to help, to, you know, to keep that space open, to keep that, and as the wheels go around, the windmills go around, more and more people will make it through the gap, and more people won't make it through the gap, and they'll, you know, they'll pass away. So the minority, the majority of the minority are going to make it through, but it's the churning of those windmills. It's the churn has begun.
There will be this A and B team for a while, no doubt about it. So, and this to be ashamed and all that in society, slander, whatever.
Slander. That's what Mercury does. Mercury slanders.
Yeah. So we got this going on for the passage to 322, and I won't go any further. Just hang on out there, guys, and go steady. So I will make some pictures instead to show you a little bit about this. Do you see this?
Fantastic. That is exactly what I was trying to draw in my pictures. Fantastic. Thank you, Lars.
So right here we got the moon pillar, and we got the sun pillar, and we got the feminine eye and the masculine eye on the pyramids. And when you got the one eye open, as I think most of us who are on this voyage together, we can see the knowledge up here. But when knowledge are shared, and from keeping the majority of the people, the mankind, at the bottom, it will only be a little bit, which they speak of chemical knowledge up here. It will only come in bits downwards. And when we come to the bottom, we will have nothing, or very, very little we will have access to. And all the other stuff down here is just this illusion of the society we're living in. So they got all the knowledge, but they will only share a bit, and it comes down, and we will have nothing. Do you see what I mean?
Yeah.
And they will just put the pendulum to swing, so we won't look up. As it's mentioned in the Bible, look up for the signs, and we have no clue of the signs because we haven't learned them. So an allegory is to bend the paper, fold it in the middle, start folding it up, and head for the knowledge of this alchemical knowledge. So draw two pyramids and fold the paper. So that's the allegory of it. And don't let you be swung as the swing king Louis. Do you have anything to this picture, Victoria?
Well done, darling. So yeah, you've got the pendulums here. Super. You've got the critical points in the middle of balance.
Sure.
We've got the sun and the moon. So the 5 ages of the sun and the 5 ages of the moon. So we've got, and it's good to see here, we've got the 2 angles of Venus. We can see like that too. So you've got Venus in detriment on Mercury this side, that side of the tilt, and then on this side of the tilt, Venus in, when we've been in the age of Pisces, Venus has been in detriment down in Mercury, and this is what the pole shift is all about. As Venus finishes her 4 cycles of being as above, so below, as above, so below. And this is this is Lucy in the sky with diamonds, because they want to make this red and black, not with, this is, you've got the correct one here. You've got Aquarius red air and black Capricorn. And by the way, in English, the vaccine, people say jab, to jab.
Yeah,
and jab is Joaz, Joaz and
Jackie and Boaz.
Jackie and Boaz, yeah, JB.
Okay.
And the A is the air sign in the middle, which they're using as Mercury in exaltation in Virgo.
Sure.
And keeping the Joaz and Bacchine, the sun and the moon, and that is the jab. Although, you know, the truth is all those bits shall live, and that is those who look the beast in the eye, who look Lucifer in the eye. And so they want to create Lucy in the sky with diamonds. This this throat passage we're going through, I'm pretty sure, is the Isle of Wight now.
Sure. So we have to ascend and go with Jacob's ladder and reach for.
Yeah, this is really to make the fifth wave. The fifth wave is a state of consciousness. And honestly, once we get through the fear, once we get there, I've really noticed it. I said to you that before, I was walking in my little shop here in my village I've always worn a veil. I've never worn a mask, and only in the little shop. But for the last few days, I've taken it off, and nobody approaches me. Nobody. It's a state of consciousness.
It is indeed. So climb the ladder, folks, up there. Start coming up,
and then we can fly. And it really is the separation. You become like a god. You're able to fly, and we are the first ones to do it, to bring in the next waves and the next waves, and it's a churning.
Sure.
And so we have to be these first waves,
first movers,
the first groovers, and then the next waves will come through. And the more of us get through to the other side, the harder and harder, and the more scary it's going to get below there. But that's why we had to get through first.
Sure. So bend the pyramids in the middle of the paper and start climbing Jacob's ladder. So what I've just shown you here with the two triangles is just the same as in this old Kemetic picture. When you are adult, or not adult, when you are mature, you got this knowledge, you got your agenda, and then you can play the astrology with it, and then you got the reaction and the people who want the solution. So it's exactly the same, just shown in different ways. You see that? It's the same. Nothing new under the sun. You got the moon and the sun pillar. So that brings me to this one, this digital spell versus the organic outfit. When they build a square, they have it. I'll just show this one. When they square it and they are building this new world order they want to bring in, because as Klaus Schwab is saying, we need, the parasite needs. We don't. We just want to have this organic outfit as we have. So when they
need is the NEAL.
Sure. So when they square the heavens and the earth, they take this beautiful sine wave that we all live in, they give us a fake calendar, and they square it. So when we are talking about the ledgers and the etches into the Bible, I will come to it later on the last slide I've made. They take this sine wave from us and they square it into this digital every time they change their civilizations. The big ones at 720 years span. And as we know, the sine wave is not at the same length because the signs ain't. So we all transmute all the time as we walk around in a circle. But they will square it all the time and make it digital for us all the time. And inside of these, we got 1 degree, that's 72 years. And then we know we got this 7 years planning from governments, and then they got 30 years planning and so on. So
also, the sine wave, the S, they turned into an N.
Exactly.
So the above as below, they put into the 2 triangles. Oop. When it's always been the S. There's always a sign. It's always been. Yeah.
The sine wave. It's the part of nature. This ain't a part of nature because nature can't make square things. So simple. So it was shown to us at Time magazine, The Great Reset. That tell us everything if we know where to look for it. So this Bible book is just a book telling the story in the waters, not in the fire, not in the earth, not in the air. And we know it's not literal, it's not historical, it's not reality, it's not original. We know it is this, but it's made only right now in this edition for the water signs. So when John is speaking the words of air, funny enough, because we're moving into an air sign. Cool, right? And next time we will move into an earth sign. And that will be the revelation of Luke, because it will speak the words of the earth, because Capricorn is earth. It's cool, isn't it? So that's how it works, this book. They will just change it as they wish and rewrite it again and again and again. It's just how it is.
It's just how it is in the world of 4 legs.
Yeah,
we all fell down here and we've all got to make our own way back out.
Exactly. So next time it's going to be the revelation of Luke. It's cool, isn't it? So that made me to this almost last picture here. I just made this afternoon. Just trying to tell you this 369 energy, free energy, as we talked about as well, Jacob. They will try to keep for every time it moves an arc, as we see here. This is an arc, the archangel of Gabriel, Michael. We are hearing a lot about Michael, Ariel, and Raphael. So every time we knew we were moving into a new arc, it's all about these mutable signs. So when the sun moves and the percepted rotation as we see it, they will always keep. Now it's the Pisces who's under attack, and they will bring in Mercury. Next time it will be Sagittarius that will be under attack, and they will bring in Gemini. You see the point, how they do it all the time. So we will never get the 4 leg, only the 369 energy, free energy, recycled. On and on it goes. And
the same with the Polaris that we were looking at this afternoon.
Exactly.
The Polaris is this, you always only see 3 legs.
Sure.
You never see the one below the horizon.
Exactly. So if we want to be mature, we will have to recognize this one. To see it, we know it's there, but we don't want it. We want this one. And start climbing up Jacob's ladder. That's how it works. So, end of my presentation, and just for the curious one who don't know yet, my website is up running. Hooray for that. So go visit if you want to see all my works from which were taken out on Facebook.
We must put it, Jacob will add it at the end so that everybody can go and get a reading from you. And check out your site. Yeah, we'll add it onto this video and all the videos, darling.
So that was it from me, what I have planned to talk about. So the screen will be yours, Victoria.
Maybe some questions. People would like to ask some questions before we move on to me.
That could be.
I'm gonna see in the chat. They haven't really asked any questions yet. There's one question from let me see, Donald Trump. How do we be the first movers? What exactly must we do?
It's just by setting an example, just standing up straight and not being afraid, and having this. It's literally like being able to fly.
Yeah, be yourself.
I feel like I'm kind of flying. It's really weird. It's I've all these years of coming here and all the fear, and once you finally break through the narcissists, the parasites, somebody had a great expression for them, the shin biters.
The shin biters. Okay, cool name. Sure.
Once you're really walking on air, you've got that ether vibe. You're untouchable, and you make the movement for the other people.
So
it's without any aggression, it's just floating on through.
Be authentic, stand in your own light. I say, no, thank you, I don't consent. That's what to say, what not to say. Just be yourself.
Exactly. Thank you for answering. Rebellion Lion says, how do we become left alone? Because I've got followers that place a hex with every step I take.
It's really the personal journey. My goodness.
Sure.
It's really the personal journey, because and it's a long journey. I have, just for this gap that we're going through now, I've reached a stage where there's nothing parasitical, there's nothing that I need. So I have been, I've smoked cigarettes for the last 20 years. I put on a post the other day, 30, that's not right. From 17 to 30, I didn't smoke or drink. I was in a state of complete, really very strong. And then my first divorce and narcissistic experience, and I fell into the pit. And I have, just for this passage, got to a point where there is nothing that I need but the air that I breathe. And I make an effort to feed myself, because I could actually just not even eat at the moment, but I give myself fruit and fruit juices, but I'm literally flying. But you've got to keep really balanced in the middle. And I tell you, I have really been through a lot to get to this, especially the past 2-3 years have been the worst.
Sure. And to remember, people come and go in one's life, and people that don't fit anymore or useful, or like that, skip them, move on.
Move on, yeah. And
don't look back.
Right. Every time you climb up in a frequency, people will fall away, and new people will join your life again. So
exactly.
And it's never easy. And sometimes, we all have, nobody can jump the gun. There's no cheating. Everyone has to come through, but you will come through. If you're in a place right now where it's really scary and horrible, I promise you're going to come through. You're not listening to our chat if you weren't one of those people who are here to fly. So just stay very centered. You can't go too fast. You can't be too slow. Just stay centered and know. Just pull yourself away from the parasites. Ignore them.
Last day, what it was called, I can't remember. Yesterday it was at the supermarket. I was so annoyed and irritated at all these zombies that just had. Wanted to cry out, idiots, what are you doing? but I didn't. I just took my stuff and moved on. Ain't my job. They gotta wake up themselves. We can't push it.
Exactly. So we gotta put like a guardian angel on in front of our tongue, right? So
sure.
I think we all felt it as Mars went into Taurus in full. So Mars is in full in Taurus. I think a lot of us, I have the only planet I have Mars in domicile in Aries, although in the 12th house, but still that's rather unpredictable Mars behavior, 12th house. So when Mars is in detriment, and yeah, I went on a nature walk. I found incredible rivers where I live. Nobody, and there was a group of under 10 children, about 40 of them. It's the school holidays here. It's not school, but it's all the children that have been left by their parents, and they went on a nature walk. So it's a whole day long and brilliant sunshine.
With mask on.
And all the children had masks on. So, you know, most of them, the oldest were about 10, and they were 5, 6, 7, all in masks in this sweltering sunshine. So they were being shown the nature, and it's funny because they've set up the nature so that the humans become now like the animals. So in order to look at the ducks and to look at the birds, they put up big wooden barriers, and you look through the wood like so. It's like the other way around, zoo. But anyway, so these young people showing the children, and I didn't lose it. I stayed well behaved, but I spoke up in a way that I wouldn't. I just said that the children, that they were stopping the oxygen, and the children would remember, and it's over now. There's nobody here. So, but yeah, that was just that energy of Mars going into Taurus. We all felt it. Yeah,
I felt like Ferdinand on the field.
Yeah.
I did notice that here in the Netherlands, people are really getting fed up with it because 2 or 3 weeks ago we had ice skating, and there were like tons of people on the ice, all standing together, no mask worn. They had music on, they enjoyed a little bit of drinks, and the previous week I went to the beach with sunny day. It was loaded with people. No one had masks on. They were all crowded together. Everyone was enjoying it. So
cool.
I do see here in the Netherlands that people are not taking it so serious. So that's a good thing.
Wonderful.
Yeah, they even had to close out a park in Amsterdam because it was so loaded with people that. But
well, how interesting that France is so mind controlled. France is I'm not in a city, so I don't know. I'm just in the countryside. It seems that the English community where I live here, there's an English community, and they're all on Facebook, and they are all complaining that the French aren't tough enough on vaccines, and everybody wants their vaccine, but they're the older generation. They're not the young people. The older generations are seriously not going to make it through. I don't know. Or it seems that England is the opening. It's that the head. I think that the Isle of Wight is the throat, and England is the head. So the three-headed. You've got Scotland, Wales and Ireland, the three heads. It's the opening of the fleur de lis of the Taurus fields.
Sure. Wait with that, Victoria, until you got some pictures.
Yeah, but it's kind of it's like they kind of programmed English people. I don't know, and it's well, you're lucky in Denmark. That's all I can say. It seems I only see programmed people around me here.
They're only programmed in the shops, not in the open. There's very few wearing masks outside, so that's good enough.
Yeah, that's funny because when people are out in nature, it's like the corona stuff doesn't exist. But as soon as people get into the man-made matrix, so to speak, then they all put on a mask again. So
yeah,
you can see us splitting in the world.
You can see the splitting in it all.
Yeah, so that's. I really hope that people are being in nature enough to see the splitting themselves and to see that nature is the answer and not the this
Exactly.
madness of a world.
Yeah. So over from me, and the floor is yours, Victoria.
I got still 2 questions
Okay.
that need to be answered. Allow Health and Beauty is asking, why do we do alchemical astrology with the 30-degree houses and not the degrees in the sky?
Oh, you see, right here we got the degrees in the sky. If you look at this one here, so this is alchemical. It's not 30 degrees, but on this drawing I just showed how they do it 30 degrees, but they are not in real time. These are bigger than into Cancer and Aries. The deacons, which are inside of each sign, but they have squared it into 30 degrees all the way around.
Okay, I hope that answers the question.
So sometimes it's easier to draw with 30 degrees to show something, as I did on this one, just for showing it to make it straight lines, but they are really like this in the real. So I hope it's a good answer.
How many degrees will it go to when we go to the 5th wave, Lars?
Until we reach Aquarius,
Yeah.
720 years.
No, how when the wheel goes to the 5th wave, so 72 times 5 instead of 30 times 12.
How much is that? I can't do math.
That will be, we'll have 5. We'll have 5, the 5 gateway, the 8 signs, and the 5 gateway in the middle. So the degrees will all change.
They will.
Which they already have for those of us who are breaking through.
We will go to the 8-spoke wheel, but that's for another. I have no picture of it here, but look at my website and you can see it. Some drawings about it.
Yeah.
So, last question, Jacob.
Yes, Donald Trump is asking, who exactly are they?
Oh, I think I mentioned it in the last video, but as I see it, the one who controls the tabernacle, and the tabernacle is a true copy of our brain. It's Solomon's temple, it's David's temple, it's Camp David in the desert with the tabernacle. So the priest who runs the tabernacle behind the veils are those who run the show, and they were called Levites in the old time. But today we see lodges and other stuff have moved into it. But at the top, I see it's these Levites who set the course. And adversaries, Hollywood, you name it, they are all into this. But at the top, there is this alchemical knowledge, which they call religion for us, which it is not. It's science. It's nothing else. But they will keep us out of it.
It's our shadow sides.
Sure.
It's the part of us that we that you can only meet when you get to the 12th house. But most people are too afraid to face their Leviathan unconscious. It's the unconscious collective that has been that has got lost in the sea.
We are 3/3 of darkness and only 1/4 of light. So if we don't look into the abyss inside ourselves in the mirror, we are denying ourselves. So we have to look into it. And they are the elites. Those who rule the top through money and fear and war and whatever. It's everything. And I can't pinpoint exactly who they are, but some are there. No doubt about it. It's in this segment of elites.
Right. It's
Elohim, Nephilim.
It's basically all those who go against nature. To sum
Exactly.
it up.
Sure. And it's inside ourselves because we're consumers of it.
Right.
So
So it's like a collective nightmare we all dream because we don't face our own shadow self.
Exactly.
Exactly.
Right.
Yep.
That clears it up. Thanks.
Okay.
I just need 2 minutes. I'll be back in 2 minutes. If you can just chat for me, I'm just coming.
Okay.
Let me see if there is another question. I have a question. Angela Moulton is asking, Lars said fold paper. Which way? Vertical?
What? Once again.
Lars said fold paper. Which way? Vertical.
Fold the paper. Okay. Yeah. Take the bottom and fold it up. This is the middle of the paper. So fold it right up. This one up to here. So start climbing Jacob's ladder and reach for the knowledge. Did it make it clear? I hope so.
Oh, right. So if you fold it up, the one bottom becomes the top and the other, it meets each other.
Is it levels out. So we will be even with those who have the knowledge because they are the same size. And when all knowledge are to be shared, because if we all got the same knowledge, no one got the power, we can live in harmony. That's how it works.
Okay, awesome.
I'm
Duality.
back.
Okay. Go on, Victoria.
No, I'm just back, so I'm
Oh.
not sure what.
Okay, so the floor is yours, Victoria. And I will.
Okay, thank you so much, Lars. Really,
You're
just
welcome.
amazing. Your pictures. Thank you.
So
And
you
your
can take the
knowledge.
sharing, okay?
Okay, I press share. Yes. Share screen. Right, so Facebook, I'm sorry, but this is just I have been very busy. I haven't been able to make my own videos, so I've really just given myself yesterday and today to try and bring my thoughts together. But as always, I make posts between all my readings so that I can keep up with myself. So I think that I have prepared, yeah. Normally this one is much lower down, right? So I think I'll just start with these pictures and my thinking with these pictures here. So I've got these little pictures that I just drew now. How can I make this picture go? Yeah, I don't know, it's because it's on, right? I can't make him go the other way around, I don't think.
You want to flip it or?
Well, I'm on Victoria LeBay now, and it was posted by Victoria Cotton, and it won't let me flip it on my phone. So you see, I can't flip it here. So that's okay.
Okay, we'll put our monitors on the side.
Yeah. I'm not sure where to begin my thinking because I've got so much that now we come to now, and I've got. My head's just gone blank. That's my problem. So yeah, I think that I need to start with my pictures, and this I can come back to because otherwise, right? Okay, let's just go through my pictures because then my thinking will come as as we go through. So this is a famous French film that came out in 1995, which basically in French, in French, this is pronounced la haine. So this is L-A, L-A, la, L, la, and N. So N, H-A-I-N-E in English is N. It's the same pronouncement, it's the same. So we're at N, and N represents the north, and N represents the middle of the swastika of the Big Dipper, of the 4 legs. So this is why we've just had Tiger Woods have a leg injury in his 4x4 wheel drive. And that was, of course, on the 23rd of the 2nd, because that's 223. It's the skull and bone cross, 223, 322. So N came out 25 years ago, and it says jusqu'ici tout va bien. Until now, everything is okay. So we hit 2020 was 25 years later after 1995. So I'll just read what I put, because I'm throwing all this together it's a lot. So N is VV. So in an N, you've got 2 V's. Here's the V for victory, or the 77, or this is the throat chakra that I've been showing you in the HAINE hands that open and shut, the triangle. You put your thumb and your first finger together, that triangle, and they open and shut. So we're at the throat chakra now to get to the head, to get to the 5th wave. So N is the 2 V's, or VV. So VV is the M, and there we've got the 3 V's, the 3 corners, which is what Lars has just been showing us. There's always 3 to make the cap. You want to get ahead, get a cap, get a head, get a cardinal cross cap. So the last seal, NEAL, A-L-N, 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 NILE, N is Polaris, the center is gold. So between the Venus cycles, which I'm going to be showing you, you always have the sun in the middle. So, I've done in my old videos, if you go and see the Morris Cotterell again, or you go to see symbols of an A-lion sky, these are all just top gatekeepers. All of them are showing you what's going on. They show you the Venus, they show you the lock of hair, they show you what the sky looked like when Saturn and Venus was aligned in that middle pillar. We're going back to that alignment of Venus, Saturn, and Mercury. So the center is Goldilocks and the 3 bears. 1995 to 2020 is the 25 Aka 7. 5 and 2 is 7. This is the last leg. And Mars is going to be on the 7th sister as we come up now for this 322. So Tiger Woods lost his leg on the 223. It's the 2 ways of the 4-wheel drive. So the last leg. So la N, I just showed you that film in French. N means hates, H-I-A-I-G-N-E. So Aignan again is N, but they don't N. That's pronounced A-I-G is pronounced N, but there's no N in there. So N, hates, is H-I-N-G, but there's, my brain is going, there's no G. So there's N, but in the village, in the leg, in the egg, it's A-I-G, but you don't pronounce the G. Here you pronounce the N. This is the north. This is the north. So they want to make the spin into the hates. It's meant to be heart. And this is what I'm going to be explaining to you. I'm going to be explaining about the importance of finding your head to get out of the heart, to balance the emotions. We've been, everyone's always thinking heart, you need a heart. Saturn, Capricorn, is the opposite of Cancer. Cancer is the big, loving, nurturing heart. Capricorn is the cold. You need to balance them both. Aquarius, there's no heart at all. Leo, opposite, is the big heart, teenager, falling in love. You need to balance. So this is the opposite of love, hates. And this is what we're playing for. The spin can be hate or love. And you've got to be in the middle. We want the bullseye, the middle. Okay, so Aignan Dart in Aignan, D'Artagnan, D'Artagnan, Puss in Boots, Tiger, Tiger, Burning Bright, T-Rex, Scotty Time. So La Haine, French pronunciation hate, is a 1995 French independent black and white drama film. Of course, it was in black and white because Virgo is black, earth, Africa, and white is Europe, water, Pisces. So like the Wizard of Oz, Wizard of Oz, like Goldilocks and the Three Bears, Dorothy and the Tin Man and the lion and the scarecrow. It's always the same thing. Like in Star Wars, you've got the one girl and the three Goldilocks and the Three Bears. So it's about three young friends and their struggle to live in the banlieue of Paris. So I arrived in Paris in 1990. Oh no, I arrived in France in 87. So I feel very much like a child of this growing up. They created Paris all around the outskirts of Paris. They separated the two societies. They put all the poor people in the buildings, and they are actually the true hearts. They're the true heart. They are, they've tried and it's so they're going to set off. They're going to try and set off in Paris, Clockwork Orange. That's for sure.
They have done the same in the big cities in Denmark. All the good people, the working class, and those with the big hearts are outside the big towns and cities in Denmark. Exactly the same.
Yeah.
And I reckon the same in the Netherlands and everywhere.
Yeah. So they've tried to make everyone afraid. You know, people like me, I've always, when I was a small child in London, I lived in the centre of London in Holland Park, but if I walked 5 minutes, I went into the council estates right next door and I would walk my dog. And I knew everybody. I wasn't afraid of anybody. As a small child, I knew all the names of all the flashers. When I lived in the north of France, they separate from the center of the village at the top. They had what's called the lotissement, which is, again, it's like the lotissement is the outskirt of the center of the village. And I was the only person that never got, and I lived in the biggest, flashiest house, but I never got my card stolen, nothing, because I was friends with everybody. When I was running nightlife in the middle of Paris, I would walk out of nightclubs at 4 o'clock in the morning, and I'd just be with, I would get in a car with, it's this level of not having fear. When you don't have fear and you meet people with no fear, if you can stare the beast in the eye, you're untouchable. Sometimes I have moments where fear can come in for different reasons, for different things, like everybody. And I've certainly had my dose when in my narcissistic relationships, that's when I can get pushed to levels of fear. But in my own way, dealing with people and being out, you're either connected to the people. They know if you're streetwise, if you've got snake sense, you're untouchable. And I've got snake sense, even if I'm really sweet and kind of got that vulnerable side. They look at me like all the gypsies around here, they all know me. They know that I speak their language and I'm untouchable. I've spoken about it. It's the Cobra Gypsies. You can, for the scorpion to rise as an eagle again, you've got to ride the snake. You've got to be able to dance like a gypsy. You've got to be able to turn left and right and spin. So this film was famous with Vincent Cassel. So they have the white man. VC is coronavirus. It's just the Victoria Cross. C is 3, V is 22. That's why Tiger Woods' accident was just now on the 23rd of the 2nd. It's the 322223. 3 is C, V is 22, Tav. HK, that is one of the stars. This is, again, it's the... so they had the 3. They had the African, the Arab, and the white man. So anyway, so Tiger Woods, he had his thing. So I'll just whiz through now because I have lots to show you. So here's his 4-wheel drive, smashed in the front. This is just, again, we've just had the full moon on Narnia, on the lion. So we're coming up. They want to keep the lion with the three, you know, the lion is also like the bear in the middle of the Polaris. I'll show you when we get there. So the yellow and the black, Jupiter and Capricorn, Jupiter 42-24, and here comes the snake. So tiger, Puss in Boots, D'Artagnan, that's why I'm showing you, this all the time. Aignan, D'Artagnan, Aignan. AIG is silent. They take out the N. You've got to get to the north. You've got to find your heads. That's our third eye, the egg. So there's the tiger burning bright in the forests of the night. Tiger woods. What immortal hand or eye could frame thy fearful symmetry? And I can't actually read that, but if you read that, you got, so here's the Narnia. So just the orange and, yeah, this is the Leo, opposite Aquarius. So this again, we've just had, this is the Paris, Texas. Something just happened in Texas. I'll remember what it is. What's just happened in Texas again? Oh, the snow. That's right. They've had all the snow, the very, very cold weather in Texas. So this is about, so they had, after 2017, the first eclipse, Paris was completely covered in snow, the Eiffel Tower, and they just had the Eiffel Tower in Texas full of snow as well. So this is the Paris, Texas. This is the screen. It's like in Midnight Express, talking to each other through the screen. This is the invisible wall you've got to get through. There's the tiger, and this is Saturn and Jupiter. Saturn and Jupiter. And here again, so this is the NILE, the NEAL, the NILE. This is the Seine in Paris. So Paris, you've got the 7th arrondissement and the 16th arrondissement with the what's it called, the river, the river in Paris. It's called it's not the Seine. Oh, the Seine. It's called the Seine, the Seine. So the Seine goes through the 16th and the 7th, which is the 77. So if you look, I'll open and show you. Let me show you. Paris, 7th arrondissement. Here we go. So map, and you'll see it's the hats. Map. So this is the last leg. We've got the 2 legs, the 7-7. It's the throat chakra. So I'll just go back a bit, and you'll see that hats. Okay. Oh. Okay, well this is the hats, and you've got here 14 is 7, but that's not, you've got the 7th arrondissement here, and here's the 16. So 7-7 going through the throat chakra. Here's got the Champ de Mars, got Mars on, but this is basically, I can't see it very well now, but this is the hats of that we were just looking at. Right, let's come back. The snake, the 7-7. So this is where we're at now. Can you stand up straight? This is the state of humanity completely. This is where you're at, humanity. You know, this is, so these guys are in on the same game. So interesting, we're at the Temples of Solomon, which is the Boaz and Jachin, the Jab, the A for air. So they were built in copper. You've got the 2 copper pillars, and you need the copper. Copper is Venus, and Venus is that east-west with the sun in between, with the lion in between. and we're going through that gap. You've got to open, you've got to find your strength now. But many people will be betrayed. They will get their hair cut off by Delia. So Delia is Venus in Libra, who betrays. So yeah, I'll show you the pictures I've got to that. So yeah, we're really dealing now with those people who still can't identify the narcissists among us, and they are everywhere. They are everywhere. I can't, or you know, they are around us, but I can't tell people I see them all the time, because you got to see them yourself. You got to find them yourself. So the Louvre,
they don't know, because they are doing it for the greater good. They can't see they're a narcissist. So
it takes time. Yeah. It takes time, and it's always a reflection of ourselves. You know, it's always the empath. If you're too much in the hearts, the opposite of the empath is the narcissist. So sure. People in the middle path, they can't, they've got no idea what's going on. But that's why sometimes to be an adaptable sign helps you to have vision. If you get through all the if you get through all the gatekeepers, and you survive all the holes you fall down, unfortunately, the bigger your vibration, the higher your vibration, you are going to meet the most evil people that exist. And you got to keep going, because you've come for a reason. But you know, nobody's got it better or worse than another. With some of the people who've got more balance, we've all got different levels of meeting them and finding out. So this is the throat chakra we're going through. This is the smoke and mirrors. These are the slates. This is the illusion. This is the smoke. If you look up what Louvre means, it means it's an illusion of slates. It's all those little diamonds. Okay, great. We've got the hearts here. So you see, they put Aries with a normal heart. They've put food for Taurus, which isn't really true, because Taurus is the heart, but at the same time, it's greed. It's greed, it's material. All the earth signs are very much in the flesh, So the torso is our body without the arms and legs, and the head, just the torso. Taurus, it's the Taurus field, with you've got the throat and you've got the arsehole coming out, and females have got their vagina as well, but otherwise you've just got a torso, and you can't go very far just with a torso. You need a head, otherwise you're just, you know, you're part of needing. You need food, you need to fill yourself up, you need to possess, you need to have. So this is just showing, you see, Leo has got this big ego heart, and opposite Aquarius, they put none. But so you've got a balance. This is chaos, this is order. Pisces has got lots of lovely hearts everywhere, and Virgo's got a broken heart, because Venus is in exaltation in Pisces and in detriment in Virgo. So you've got a balance. Virgo has the potential to be in the middle here. Everybody can find the middle ground to find their head. Cancer's the big over-nurturing, but she's Kali. She's destruction. Capricorn is, yeah, death, cold, but you're going, it's creation. The nights, the days start to get longer. That's why Aquarius is the lamb. It's the thalamus, because it's the beginning of spring after Capricorn. It's the very, very, very beginning of spring. It's innocence itself. It's innocent. So Aquarius is thinking of the bigger picture. They're thinking of everybody. They haven't built an ego yet. Neither is good or bad. You know, Leo is the essence of that shining, loving light, bold, courageous, lion heart, or it's a big coward, or it's an arrogant, you know, they're very arrogant when they haven't found their correct way to shine their light. So it's always about balance. It's always about balance. So Gemini is thinking, intellectual. All the air signs are intellectual. So they are spreading their love through their communication, or they're slandering. Sagittarius is on his high horse, nothing in moderation, bigger than life. So when he's happy, he's very, very happy. But when he's angry, nobody is more angry. So it's always this balance. Scorpio, they put the love on the sexual organs, and this should be the heart. This should be the heart on the heart. They put food, but it's that balance between wanting to possess yourself, and Scorpio is possessing from others. That's that sexual connection. You know, that's the true vampire controlling. Or you are a wonderful. You've become the counselor and the psychologist, that deep one-to-one friendship healing, or you're vampiring off people. It's always this balance. Here's Libra. So Libra is this is intellectual. So it's, again, it's coming from the head, and Aries, it's all that passion in the heart. But you've got to balance. Libra is Lucifer, or it's the highest wisdom, it's heaven, it's its highest level. It's Libra is the mirror. It's the absolute mirror you've got to get through. Okay, so Mowgli. Now here's Mother Goose. This is Deneb, or and you see you've got, this is the Lyra. This is Deneb, Lyra, and it's the golden triangle, Vega, Deneb, and Senior, the swan, the goose. So those are the birds that go up and down. You've got the swan and the goose. Deneb is crucified upside down. They put Cupid, the harp, and the goose. We looked at that last week. This is Penguin Man. This is what happens with the vaccines. Here's his car. Okay, that's it. Let's go through more pictures. So I'm sorry, but I've got to take you through. Right, so these pictures. So you either get a brain or you remain like Brian. So you've got to carry your own cross. You have to bear your own cross. You have to find what cross you're on. And you have to know yourself, know thyself, to know thy enemy. And you resurrect on earth. You have to die and resurrect. You have to repent. You have to be humble. You have to you know. So you've got these two. You've got the keyhole, and the upside down cross. So St. Peter is Pisces. Pisces is crucified upside down, and Mercury is in detriments in Pisces. So they're using Virgo, bringing Virgo up from opposite Pisces and bringing up, that's what the little fairy is. That's what I was explaining last week. The little fairy is Mercury coming up. It should be, we should have the mermaid resurrecting and going from finding her voice. Got to get through the throat to find your voice and to make it back to spirit. So you've got the two extremes always. This is just the Virgo, Mercury in Virgo, or Venus exalted in Pisces, Venus in detriment in Virgo, Mercury in detriment in Pisces and exalted in Virgo, and Venus and Mercury are the middle pillar. They rule the middle pillar with Saturn. So it's finding that balance of Venus, and this is what that video, this video of Ether, which I still haven't been able to get all the way through. I've watched about 4 times, half an hour of it. So this person is called Marcia Ramelow. So you've got Ram, that's Romulus and Remus, that's the RR, that's Aries. This is the solar pillar. So there's a trap in this. It's very interesting. All the information is brilliant. It's all correct. I still need to go all the way through it. But again, it's the white, it's Europe. It's bringing you the free energy. So you've got to be able, when you get such masterful videos with perfect information like this, you've got to be able to feel the trap. They give the highest level of information, but you have to work through the missing links. This is Mars coming in.
Talking about free energy, 369. Into the Stars have made a lot of videos about copper in the US and everywhere else regarding this free energy. They are really cool how he decipher it. Into the Stars, if anyone would like to look into that.
Right, Into the Stars. Okay. Yeah, I just don't have time to watch all the videos. I just do my little posts between readings, but I don't have time to sit and watch videos and go into my world. But I feel it all in my, I feel, you know, we're coming to the big trap. They're going to really make things rough for us and then offer us the hero. And there's this Lucifer rising. We're going to have to be very strong because the trap will come. They will bring us a trap. So here we've got the penguin and the giraffe, and this is why we just had these giraffes in Kenya. So endangered giraffes killed by low power point. So they show us some horrible pictures. The pillars and the giraffe decapitated, and so like the three, like those three men in La Haine, it's always the three legs, and one missing. So this is if you're English and you remember Camberwell Green, and they comes up and down, and then he goes through. There was a video shared with me today just before the reading by this guy, Crater Earth, and I was just watching it, and they showed the same image from Camberwick Green when he goes in and out of this star that opens and shuts. And I posted the video, and it was taken off YouTube 10 minutes later. You managed to watch it, but I didn't. So here's the goose of Deneb, here's Puss in Boots, Tiger Woods, D'Artagnan, Dart in Aignan. Okay, so so if Jesus said to his disciples, if anyone wishes to come after me, he must deny himself and take up his cross and follow me. So the umbrella is shut, the hook, it opens and shuts. We're at with the captain hook. We're at that moment where the Netflix fish are being harvested. This is the Scissor Sisters. This is on the 3rd of the 3rd crucifixion. We've got Jupiter and Mercury conjunct. So this is the eclipse, so we're bang in the middle, we're going through the bullseye right now, and this is why it was all frozen in Texas. They freeze, suffocate, I can't breathe, to freeze. So the north, the N is in the middle, and we've got the leg, there's always one leg, you will see. So here we've got the X, and if you put all those X's together, you've got the diamonds, the double diamond. I'll show you the pictures afterwards. And we've got KK, we've got Chiron, 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 Chiron at each angle. Okay, the little bear, the big bear. So this is Paris, Texas in the snow. They've got the cherry on the same thing. They've got their red hat. If you want to get ahead, get a hat, get your cap. This is Cardinal Cross cap. This is the Eiffel Tower in Texas. And that was a picture from 2018 after the first eclipse. They had snow in Paris. They always put the lamppost. It's the Narnia lamppost. That's what it represents. Can you find your head? Or this is the giraffe. The giraffes just got decapitated. They just decapitated 3 giraffes in Kenya, in Africa. Africa is Taurus, the element, the earth element of the 3 feminine, the three giraffes just represent the earth axis, Virgo, Taurus, and Capricorn. So here you've got Mr. Tumnus, Sagittarius, and here you've got Venus in the middle, and here you've got the penguin, Pisces, the hook. So he died just before, obviously, because we're at Captain Hook now, and the umbrella closes. The umbrella opened with Sagittarius, and it closes with Pisces. And this can also be the sun in the middle. This is a man, obviously, they put the sun in the middle, and it can be the closing of the North Node, South Node, because they've put Taurus as the huntress, and they put Venus as the, so you could have Taurus, Venus and Taurus, Venus and Mercury, the Joker, 2 Venuses, so it can work either way. North Node takes 18 months in a sign, 18 years to go around. Venus takes 18 months to do a full cycle from 0 degrees to 100 degrees. And this 322, she's going to be at 100 degrees. So Venus is the 2 sides of the tilt. It's the famous Pakal and the Virakosha man. I'll be showing you, I've shown you before in my, so the Polaris. These are the 3 crosses. Here's the cap, cardinal cross. At the moment, we've got Uranus in Aries. We've got Saturn in Capricorn, Jupiter in Capricorn. Everybody in Capricorn. We've got this last leg going on between Capricorn and Aries, the L. Always look on the bright side of life. Blinded by the light, the bright lights. This is the same as in that film More, Pink Floyd, that I showed last week, and I forgot to mention that was the whole point. Blinded by the light, the bright, bright lights. It's Lucifer. So D-Day, 4-wheel drive. That's why Tiger Woods, it's just the D-D, 4-wheel drive, Dodie and Diana, Dieu est mon doigt. So again, this is the lion is also the bear. This is the bear, Polaris. This is Sirius, the unicorn, the keeper of the 4 corners, and the mer lion that they're bringing up now. Yeah. So I'll show you that's another one. So see the 2 sides of the unicorn. I did notice Nemo the fish, got the harp. So this is so east, west, and this is where we're going to have the closing coming up for, we're going to have Aldebaran, North Node, the head of the snake on Aldebaran, the tail of the snake on Scorpio. So this is the Venus, Mars, Venus, the closing of the same time of the Venus on this east-west. We have exactly like in the Isle of Wight. So the Isle of Wight, the snake is going from east to west across the island, and they have risen the dragon to stop you coming through your throat chakra. You've got to make it up to England, through from France to England, because they're going to keep us on Cornwall. Let me show you here on Google Maps. Let me show, let's hope the whole computer doesn't break. Okay, let's put Isle of Wight, right? Isle of Wight. So you've got the whale, it's the fish going down under. Another thing I've been looking at, the Titanic, Tatarians, the TT, the sword in the stone. So you've got the 2, the whale, this is the top of the sword, the T goes down. This is the tail of the whale, the dove diving under the water. This is the sword in the stone going down, but you've got to open up. You've got to open up because Pisces, Peter is hung upside down. These are the feet. The feet, he's crucified upside down. But the gateway through to open up the Taurus field, we've got this blockage going on here, and we're going to have Cornwall. We're going to have the G7 in Cornwall here, so this will keep us on the angle, and then Paris here. So these two angles of the skull and bone cross when we want to come straight up through the Isle of Wight. We've got the dragon. Do you see what I mean, Lars?
Sure, I see what you mean.
Do you see what I mean? Okay. So I just keep going because I let you guys. So this is these are the 13 chakras. We were looking at Moscow last week. And when at the moment, we're not standing up straight. We're going to merge back together as Aquarius opens. All those of us who have opened our third eye, we've got our heads. So we've got Aquarius, we're now standing up, but that means we've merged the solstice and the equinox. So you see, there are these 13 chakras. So the S goes like that. But when we merge as above, so below, we get this merging. So look, you see, you've got Taurus here and Libra here. This is why Crystal talks about Libra here, but it's just the S that goes round. It's Venus, 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 and Venus in exaltation at the top here.
It's always the sine wave.
It's a sine wave. So here's the tail of the whale, this is like the top of the Isle of Wight. You see? There it is. You got to get through. They've got the cows here. This is that little gap. It's the Venus cycle. So the triple goddess is not the moon phases, it's Venus. It's Venus. And we've been shown the top the other way round.
And thereby, maybe we can say that these Muslims are worshipping the moon instead of Venus, or what?
Well, something, yeah. Well, normally they had to make the most awful, frightening religion come out of the Muslim world because they are the fifth wave. They are the true golden color. They are the gold in between the two Venus. This is the gold. I'll show you. We're going to see. We've got pictures of Venus now. So look, there's the whale's tail. There's Venus, east, west. So this is what you've got on the Isle of Wight. You've got the snake coming across. And this is the Pac-Man opening and shutting. This is going to open. And then we get Venus. You'll see in these pictures. Morning, evening. So the wheel is coming back to the 12. We're going to go to the 8 and the 5 gateway. We're going to come to this. So you see, oh, they've got upside down that okay, forget him, he's going too slow. So 26 days, 260 days evening star, 260 days morning star in this 18-month Venus cycle. And so this is the 8-8. Venus takes 8 years to do the 5-petaled star. The sun is an analemma in the shape of an 8. In 1 year, the sun makes the form of an 8, and the moon has 8 phases. So we'll have no need of the sun and the moon, that 88, and Venus becomes the 8 gateway.
88 miles per hour.
Yeah. the 88. If you make 88 miles per hour, you can get through the Venus gateway. And that is what my friend just posted, and I wanted to open it, but it went. Maybe I can find it here. Very interesting picture. I did try just before to open it. Okay. Here, the gate to the sun. Is it going to let me? Right, look, there's the windmills. So here we've got the Viracocha, Bess, always the same thing. This is the keeper of the four corners. When you found your four corners and you make it through. So look, it is generally agreed that the carvings at the top represent a calendar, but what's interesting is there are only 290 days on it. This is interesting to me because it links up with the cycles of Venus, which spend 290 days. Well, so they say 290, but in those pictures it said 260. But it's the same thing because the 9 and the 6 is the same thing. I couldn't find 290 after reading this. I can only find 260. Mm-hmm. So somewhere in either way, it makes 1111. It makes the 4 legs. Yeah. This is just, again, it's the swastika. So you've got to balance between Venus, Venus in Libra and Venus in Taurus. So in any case, if you see, look, it's all the same thing. This is the 13,000 feet, which is Moscow, the 13, the gateway. It's always the same. It's all, look, here we go. This is the closing of Osiris. You need the north-south node, the 12 signs in the north-south node. It's the closing of Osiris. They're trying to bring up Odin as Buffalo Bill, as Ophiuchus as the 13th sign. Again, 13,000 feet. 1313 is MM. And if you look at the Volkswagen sign, you put an M on top and an M underneath, and it creates the diamond, the diamond. So mond is the world and dia is to half. So to cut the world in half, diamond is what diamond means, to cut you in half. See, diamond is and ond is a wave. You know, we're trying to make the 5th wave to get through. I'll show you when I get to my, this is like, you know, the sigil of Venus. It's our vision of our eye of seeing. This is the sun. Okay, movie groovy. Okay, so these are like the 2 balls on each side of the Taurus field. It's the evening and morning star are the 2 sides of the Taurus field. There is the tail of the whale. So Venus is invisible when it's below this horizon. And again, it's going to, this shows the 3, this is the M or the N. The N, it's the N. It's the N and the N upside down. So the hawk is Sagittarius and the dove is Gemini. Hawk is Altair and Gemini is Sirius. Romulus and Remus. Romulus and Remus, 2 little boys. So the tail of the whale, the top, this is the top of the sword in the stone. You see the sword down, crucified upside down. Those are the feet, crucified upside down. This is in Portugal, the 2 L's of the museum there. This is, and there's the dove going up. This is basically, it's just the throat gateway. So Venus and Mercury. Mercury is communication, but Venus is the throat, the torus fields, the thorax. The 7-7, which is the VV, and you've got Pink Floyd in the 7-7. Animals, Pink Floyd, animals, 7-7, keeping us as pigs. You've got to get through the gateway. Showing us the torus field, that's all. It's just the left, right, but you've got to get past those wings. You've got to open Mercury, putting himself at the throat when it should be Venus at the throat. Venus is the throat, Taurus. She opens the gateway, so you can, so there's the top of the sword, sword in the stone. You see, you've got two directions. I think this is us rising of the Titanic, because the Titanic was a ritual to bury the last leg. It was a ritual for today to bury us with the anchor at the bottom of the deep blue sea. You know, you got to come out of Pisces. You got to come out of the illusion. You got to come out of the belief programs.
Come out of the church, my people.
Yeah.
Come out of her.
And this is opening. So we don't want to get stuck in that diamond, the double diamond. We want to come out. You got to come out to find your head. So this is you've got Deneb, Sinus, and Vega, the golden triangle. Normally I've got them here. So Vega, Deneb, and it's the same thing. Cygnus and Deneb is the same thing. So you've got the flying duck, Vega, Lyra, and Altair, the eagle. And this is the triangle. This is the Louvre. The wolf is in the middle, the she-wolf. And you've got to get past, they put Romulus and Remus, Russian roulette, but it's the two birds. It's the LL77, Bidden, the loop. You've got to get through. It's where we're going through now. Everything. So jab, to have a jab, Joaz and Bakin. Joaz and Bakin, they've gone. Okay, Joaz and Bakin, and the air symbol, is that naughty Mercury? Or have you found Aquarius? You know, you've got to get up. And this is their triangles. They want to keep us in blue and reds, in water and fire, when it's black and reds. And their blue is Mercury on Spica. Mercury on Spica trying to imitate the water of Pisces. The water of Pisces, Mercury tries to imitate in Earth Virgo on Spica, because it's the blue star. Okay, so here again, we've got what I've covered is Pacal, the Maurice Cotterell. So this is their triangle. This is not the 144,000. This is their the two directions of Venus, Venus, Venus. What do you think, Lars? That face should go as one. That's the trap. That's the triangle face.
Sure, and Pisces symbol as the Vesica Piscis. So
yeah, they want to trap us in the Vesica Piscis.
Sure.
We got to get past. That's look, they've created. That's the triangle.
You got to jump it.
Go through. So they've got the Venus, Venus, and the Sun, putting their Sun King in the middle.
Mm.
When the Sun and the Moon merge, and Venus, Mercury, and Saturn make that middle pillar.
That's why they're taking in this Merlion.
Okay, I'll do a few more pictures, and then when I've finished. Oh goodness, I've got to wheelie all the way down. Okay, we've done those pictures. Let me just check, because my level of going. So this, you know, I've posted a lot about that, but this is exactly where we are. Look, it's the 1-1 room. You've got to walk a midnight express. You have to walk against the flow wolf to get out the cave. We're absolutely at the Stepford Wives. People, you know, we're really now being confronted that many people are not ready to leave the recycling bin. Okay, so what was this? So Paris, Texas, the Great Cross, over eclipse, to in Paris, France, Narnia. You can read that. The vagus nerve, casino spin, the umbrella opened in Sagittarius, Paul, and closes in Pisces, Peter. Last leg, mutable gap, the wheel goes from, okay, you know all that. Have a just the pictures, I think we've covered enough in last pictures. We've got to get through the key. This is that fairy opening. Got to go through the Y. I think that's just going to cover the same pictures. You can come to my Facebook and you have to go and watch. Now, I hope that Lavette is okay, because I've heard no news from Lavette. I'm worried about her. We've had no news, no videos, and this video of hers.
Victoria, I
Yeah.
just read in the chat that Lavette's brother is really sick, so I think he's she's at her brother's. He's dying.
Okay.
So
Well, I've been
Okay.
thinking about her. I'm not actually in touch always with Lavette, but I have noticed that she hasn't been around, and I've been worried. So we should all send some donations to Lavette. We've put Jacob's and put Lavette's. But Lavette has the video, the upside down cross. It explains, it's all in there. Everything we need to understand is in all Lavette's videos. You've just got to go through her videos. And I did have it open here, and it's gone. Lavette's video of, do you remember what it's called? It's called St. Peter crucified on the, but I've got it.
Jupiter crucified upside down.
Yeah. So you see, it's all the fish upside down. Again, I think I put it there, Lavette's video. No, it's on one of these links. There's the casino. This is the throat chakra, the right left spin. This is and there is, remember in that video that just got taken down, that's exactly what he showed. You see, this is 6, it's not 8. It's the 369, 369. That's this English children's program, and that they go up and down. The people get open and shut. They show us, or you're hung. See? They show us the little musical box that opens and shuts. There's the windmill, and there's the skull and bone cross. This is this funny, and look, you've got all the corn. This is what we watched as children. That was the little man, Campbell. There it is, Campbell Wick Green, and he winds it up and down. There he is, the two sides of the Baphomet. It's just the two sides of Venus up and down. And there's Barbarella to Barber L, to Barber, the red and white barber pole, Scissor Sisters, L, the last 7. So Mars is going to be, for the 322, on the 7th sister, the last L, and they want to Barber L. She's going through. There's the penguin man with all the hooks. They're out to catch you. Paris, Texas. She's got her red phone. Okay, we've seen all these pictures. Boom, boom, bam, bam. This is something called the Umbrella Academy I saw in England. Right, you know all that. Okay, that's, I think that the only other thing I've been talking about a lot is the narcissist. This is something I did last year, Order Out of Chaos, Chronos, Chromosomes. Just shows the spaghetti junction and the Scissor Sisters. They're the 2 original You'll have to come and read this. You can stop the video, look. You can stop the video and read that. Okay, I'll whiz down. This is just me and the children, the poor children. So what was that? This is where yes, this is all about the full moon. It was just the setting off of the full moon. You've got to get past the narcissists. That's all that is. And nothing is going to get better. The only way out is to find your head, Eds. And this video for the task, I mean, that just shows us everything. Seron, supernature, I've already covered that in videos, but this is the task of the Cornwall to corn her, the last task. Had helicopters. This was a woman who came, so at the big last, that was in Tooth. This is a Qatar, white and red, a walk-in who came to my old home. And she gave a message. So that was you see, we're at the end of the Venus cycle. That's why I picked up on that was the 8 year, that was 8 years ago exactly, of the petal of Venus. Punky Floyd's, People and Things. Okay, Tess, very interesting. The last leg, L7V1, you need 4 legs to find your 5th wave head. Ed, Tess. Tess is the harvester, to reap. Tess, Set, backwards is Set. Set is god of desert, storms, disorder, violence, and foreigners. In ancient Egypt religion, in ancient Greek, the god's name is given as Set, is the harvester, reaper, the sickle and hammer, end of cycle, harvest, Tesla, Elon, Leon, Noel, last Musk. Noel is the last L. A tear, last test set is upon us. We are in full harvest swing. Tess, Virgo, Miranda, Prospero, La Marianne. This is just the Virgo girl. Tess, Virgo, Miranda, Prospero, Mercury in exaltation in Virgo, Venus in detriment together, the mature Capricorn Billy Goat to kill Bill and take Taurus as the bully and use Virgo as the Roman Polanski, pedo well, never ever land. Tess meaning harvester, to reap. Tess is given name, typically a diminutive form of Tessa or Esther. Tesla included is an American electric vehicle and clean energy company based in Palo, California. Tesla's current products include electric cars, battery, energy storage, from home to grid scale, solar panels. So this is just the T in the stone, the sword in the stone, the Tesla. And here's Tess, and this is a scene where he carries 4 girls across the water. And you have to go and watch the film. You know, Roman Polanski, Rosemary's Baby, same thing. Okay, so this just talking about the full moon. Now this is where I live again, Samson and Lion, right next to where I live. It's called Samson's Lion, and I was just talking about the last full moon, and here you have, this is exactly what's happening now. Can you get through this betrayal? Let me just read what I've put. He looks like Sasha Stone. This is where we are now. Full moon in Leo and Venus in Aquarius and Mars in fall in the Buffalo Bully Taurus. Venus Delilah and Mars Samson. You have been shown all your life for this gap. Can you stand against the beast lion within you? How strong are you against the betrayal of your loved ones? Where is your lion heart to stand up against the bullies of the cowherd mentality? Rubens, again Rubens, portrays the moment when, having fallen asleep on Delilah's lap, a young man cut Samson's hair. Samson and Delilah in a dark room, which is lit mostly by a candle held by an old woman. To Delilah's left, Delilah is depicted with all of her clothes, but with her breasts exposed. It's always, that's just the bullseye, it's the tits, it's the sign of the the bull, the bullseye. The man, this where we are, we're going through the bullseye now. The man snipping the hair, blah, blah. You can come, the niche can say statue of the Venus, the goddess of love, and her son, Cupid. So you've got little Mercury. Notably, Cupid's mouth is bound rather than his eyes. This statue can be taken to represent the cause of Samson's fate, little naughty Mercury, slander, Mercury in Gemini, slander, and the tool of Delilah's actions. The painting depicts an episode from the Old Testament story of Samson and Delilah. So yeah, he loses his strength through the hair. So there's that little light. This is what's going on.
Delilah, this Kali energy. The
yes, exactly. So funny, again, this is next to where I live. They've got all these, right, that's that, boom. And I think, so this was just showing the full moon and the importance of it. So I'll just read that. Full snow, ice queen, ice cream, moon to open the countdown through the Odyssey 2001-2021 gap, official 100-day. Jacob's ladder, Jacob and Lars, JL. Last collective chance to reach the bananas and to stand up against the bullies, 322 to 72. We're going through the egg, oval, eye, and they are going to pump up the volume for this 27-2 full moon in Leo. The sun, lion, Leon, Elon, Noel, Aslan, king of the Babylonian beast, sun in Aquarius and Venus in Aquarius on the true third eye, lamb, lamppost, I Formerholt, and Mars in Taurus on Algol, leading up to 322 when Mars will be conjunct on Aldebaran, Bullseye, and this 3-3 when Venus is on Formerholt and the Ice Queen CV Cruella de Vil is born. So Aquarius has no hearts. So, you know, that's what I was showing you. It's not that Aquarius has no heart, but they're not dominated by the heart. So, you know, this is the game of the balance of the hearts. Aquarius is about the all, it's the innocence. You know, a child is not dominated by over emotions. A child is just growing, it's innocence. The lamb is innocence, is born. So you Kill Bill, the original true Billy Goat, Venus and Mars making an exact square, aka the L angle, last leg, soldier, 90-degree, aigle. So that's why that film La N, why do you not hear, you don't hear the G, but when you put the Aignan, A-I-G-N, you don't hear the G. So the GN, they're moving around, egg, but in French we say N, like the film, hate, N, it can be love or hate, Cupid or Valentine, you've got to be in the middle of love and hate. Can you find your head, Ed? The narcissists are moving in for the jugular, and you've got to stay cool because they will freeze you in fear. Mars on Algol is Medusa, and as the Ice Queen, Venus is on Formerholt. They want you to freeze. You have to look the beast in the eye, ignore them. They will turn your heart to stone and you will become a goblin as they are the walking dead. So that was just pics. That's Punky. Punky has discovered his reflection, and it's really weird because Punky has discovered fear, and he sees himself in the oven next to where I feed him, so I've had to put up a big sheet, but I didn't realize what he was seeing. But he's just so clever that he's discovered his reflection, and he's discovered fear like a human being. And it's really cute, but it's not cute. But I've been giving him extra cuddles, and I just think it's interesting that Punky has discovered. So this is about, I've done 2 big posts on narcissists, and I'm not going to bore you with them, but we're going to end here. We're going to end with this one. Let's just do one of the 2. Not survive in the 5th wave, ether-based reality. Rather than let you through the bullseye, needle, narrow gate, they would rather take you down under with them. So that's what they are doing now. They would rather keep killing you one by one, and they know that you have already taken possession. They 70% of humanity, maybe even 90%, it seems that way. They have you, they inverted your reality, and the only way through is to ignore them. Anyone playing along with the game, after having vaccines or wearing nappies, is a traumatized soul that has either become an empty robot through constant trauma and vaccines and mind control. They only let narcissists into their game. That's what social selection has always been about. You've got to go and watch the monkey experiment, the fifth monkey. They only let narcissists into their game. That's what social selection has always been about. They've squashed and destroyed all that is pure and true. They made it almost impossible to see through the mirror. It's something only your deepest inner moral compass can do. We walk among the living dead who are too afraid to resurrect in time. They prefer to lie down flat with the lion when the lion lies down with the lamb. Be the lamb, Bethlehem, be the lamb is a place for the child that was not harmed within. The emperor is bear, and the bear Polaris goes round and round the garden like a teddy bear. That's why that guy, Tom, who died at 100, walked around his garden, because we're at the N, we're at the north, we're at the fourth leg of the Polaris. And that N in the pictures, I'll finish with my pictures after this, and then we're ended. So this is the 100-day gap from 322, and you have a last chance to stand up straight and to pass through the gap, detach from the cowherd and be the child that knows before you were systematically killed within by the group mentality copycat. So we'll end with the picture I posted just before, because now I will be able to remember a bit. So we've got I've got Jupiter there. I've got Jupiter going that way. So it's just two L's. Jupiter is just two L's with a line in it that makes the reversed cross. Saturn is just the H88 upright cross or reversed cross. And here I put two N's, but the N's can go. It's the Polaris in the middle, the 8 of Venus. I put the two D's, which are the two bulls. I've got Merlin, Mr. NEAL Merlin. This is the Virakosha, the four-legged. You've got to get through. I showed you the Venus, the gate. Here he is. You've got to get through that gate. It's the throat. He opens and shuts. This is the two L's. The door is just two L's, the two V's, the two corners. So Eiffel Tower, Eiff. So I showed you the 16th and 7th arrondissement. Eiff, you've got the Eiff. What was I thinking of? I can't remember what my thinking was there again. And I can't even read. So I can't even read this, and this is upside down. So diamond on wave. The bowler hat is the bowl. It's the bowl, the bowler, the bowl, two fish bowls, wobbler, bowl, helium. I was thinking about helium, something about helium, helium, helium. And then this is just me showing the L's for each spin. So in fact, when you see, now this is the diamond, this is the XX. So this is the Volkswagen. Look, here's the W, which is two V's. You put two V's next to each other, and that makes that little gap. So that's like an M, and there's another M, and there you've got the diamond in the middle. We are being closed into the Harlequin Joker. Diamond means the world cut in two. Diamond, cut the world in two. So this has to be the eternal spin, the eternal spin. The cardinal and the fixed cross. So here's the Bethlehem star, the cardinal and the fixed. The spin is a constant spin of opening and shutting, of letting people through at your own stage of awakening. You know, we're going through a mass capacity to get through the throat chakra at the moment, but it's a constant. That's why people are always coming in and out. People are always falling down to this lower place on earth. You know, sometimes we come in, we fall down here, we chose to, or we fall because we didn't make it through the last time in our last life. It's a constant getting in and out of the gateway. You know, otherwise there would be no fun. The only fun is when we come back to the material world. But there is a capacity to live this material world in the highest possible state. We're living it upside down here. So the elites, they know, they remembered, but they can never leave here. They can never leave here. They're stuck. They're the parasites. We want to get to the flipped version. We want to get through where it's people have remembered, but we've all remembered. We're not walking around with 80% of humanity who've forgotten. We want to know the flip sides, where everyone's remembered their head, so we can fly, we can teletransport. You've got all the gifts. But before we get there, we're going to be many people who can fly, and we're helping little by little more and more humans get through until we've done the pole shift. We flip through, but it's a process of going in and out, in and out, in and outy. Okay, darlings, I've spoken enough.
Are you sure?
Over and out.
Over and out. Okay. I got a few pictures to close down with, to make it a bit more simple, I think, what you've been talking about.
Darling. Thank you for helping me.
So I hope they will bring some clarity. Maybe, I don't know. But talking about Venus and Mercury in exalted in Virgo, and we got Venus in Libra, and they will take this Luciferian energy in. So, as you showed as well at Trafalgar Square,
can you put it a bit bigger, darling?
A bit bigger.
Yes. Thank you.
So, okay, as seen at Trafalgar Square, according to the alchemical wheel, the knowledge, this should be a grown-up man and not a mature lady in red.
Yeah, not Libra, but Aquarius.
Exactly. And this should be a mature lady in black, and they are not. And here we got little Virgo.
That's
right
Spiker.
here.
She's blue because they use Spiker.
Exactly, and they will bring her in instead of Pisces and exalt it. And that means, in common words, in our daily life, that every law in the world is an offspring of this Holy See and canon law, and maritime law and administrative law made in London. And now they will make this consent law of UCC, Uniform Commercial Code. And for bringing that in, everything will be contract law. They need Mercury exalted. So that's why they will bring in this Virgo energy with Mercury exalted. One of the reasons.
La Marianne, bringing in La Marianne, liberty, equality, fraternity. It's also
that's one of it. So they will bring this in. Yeah, so that's why they show us this at Trafalgar Square. And we got the two thieves and we got Christ in the middle. And that brings me to this one. It will look like this transgender whirlpool where we got this, where they have been brought up.
Pedophiles, yeah.
Sure. And we got the fixed cross instead of the
crucified.
Mutable cross instead. It will be the fixed cross, which will be redrawn. And then we got this transgender whirlpool going on. The pictures are on my website, so just go and read the stuff. So that's how they want it to be. And we should have it like this instead of. And at last, talking about the gaps, drawing I make, why won't it be bigger?
Yeah, I can't go and get your pictures anymore. You can see it on the website now. So,
You can see it on the website now. So,
yeah.
The 369 as well, once again, as the wheel turns around, make your own spin, your own spider web in the doorway at the gates, and go through with the fifth wave, the four elements and the big consciousness. And here we got the G tone of the immutable gaps. I reckon maybe that could be a G geometry as well in the Freemason sign. I don't know, but it could be. But here we got the gaps in the mutable. And it's all about the mutable cross, because that's where they can mute us.
Yes.
They can mute, yeah. And not,
it's the spider web spin.
Sure, not in the fixed sign, and not in at the cardinal cross and signs. They will have to do it in the mutable, in the youth. So they won't let us get through the gap. That's the point. They want to stop us and bring in this Luciferian energy.
And by inverting Venus,
Sure.
if you go and watch, you must all go and watch, go and look up a picture, the 18-month cycle of Venus, and you'll see how that spider works, how Venus and the sun move to make a perfect flower of life petal. It's not the 8-year, it's the 18-month journey, and you'll just see, but by inverting Venus in Taurus and Libra, they spin us in a web constantly with Venus.
They do. And now they for sure will bring in this Lucifer energy to bring in this UCC commercial loss that every commerce will go through. So that's what I have. I have nothing more to say tonight.
Bravo, darling. Thank you.
And you too.
Thank you both for sharing. Awesome.
Hopefully it can clarify something. So
I only got like 2 questions so far, so I don't know if people in the chat have any more questions, but here is the first one. Rachel Kennedy is asking, how is Saturn assisting us at this unprecedented time?
Good question.
He makes it. Saturn is restriction and fear, and you got to get past. You've got to get past your fear.
Sure.
If you're authentic and humble, Saturn is that wonderful inner strength, complete detachment.
Yeah, it gives internal strength. So detached from all the crap.
Saturn is in Capricorn at the moment, so he's balancing in Capricorn. You're either full of fear, there's 2 extremes, or you're standing up into that wise, you're really your own authority. But people who haven't got there yet, they could be going through their worst fears. Depends where you are in your stage. Everybody's at different stages.
Exactly. That's why you come across some people in this whole Corona theater, and they're scared as hell, and some people are more balanced, so to speak.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think we all felt that fear for the first clampdown exactly a year ago. Was the moment that Saturn entered Capricorn on March the 11th last year, 3/11. I think it was about that date, and the fear was felt very strongly across it certainly was in France. We all felt it. It was like a dark energy. My daughter's born with Saturn in Capricorn, and I never forget when she was a tiny baby, I felt exactly that same energy that when we had the first clampdown of Saturn arriving in Capricorn. When Chloe was a baby, I just didn't let her go until she was 7. I just held her. But that old woman, that coldness I could feel through her, and but then it's so mature. Chloe is a tiny baby. She was always putting her arms around old people and loving older people, and just this maturity, this grown upness, this old wise woman, the old hag coming through. You're either very afraid of the old hag or you embrace her.
Exactly.
Awesome. Okay. Keep It Real is asking, did Victoria talk about the next full moon? Maybe I missed it. I don't think you have, right?
No, I just spoke about the full moon we've just had on the 27th.
Right. So
Lars can have a
maybe,
look.
yeah.
Where are the moon? Right now. Sure. Next full moon will be.
We'll have a black moon first, which you did show us.
Right here, yeah. And then I think it will be in Gemini. Or Virgo. Once again, won't it? 71. Sure. It will be in Virgo. The next full moon.
Oh, it's going to be on Spiker.
Ah. It will be full moon in my birth sign.
Come on. Do. Come on. Right here. No, not on Spiker, but in Virgo. We will have the next full moon. 28th of. Do we have one before? No, we don't. In a month.
So
Sure.
black moon the 13th of March and full moon the 28th.
Yeah.
And where will Mercury be?
In Aquarius.
Mercury and Jupiter will already have begun going backwards or not? Retrograde?
No, not yet.
Not yet, no. He does that for this summer, yeah.
I don't know when he's going to do it. So, that must wait for another day. So, I got no more.
Okay. Keep It Real is asking, Victoria, what do you think the meaning of Freemason, BLDGS, that state, I don't really know what she meant by that, but that state weaving spiders come not here. Is it connected to what Lars stated?
I didn't get that really. Did you get that, Lars?
Weaving spiders don't come here. And the capital letters were what?
Well, BLDGS, that state weaving spiders come not here. It's a meaning of the Freemasons or something. I did ask her to clarify it.
Okay, I don't know that.
Buildings. She means buildings. Okay, let me rephrase it. What do you think the meaning of Freemasons building that state weaving spiders come not here? It's above the entrances.
Weaving spiders don't come. It could be this. Don't make your own. You have to make ours. Perhaps.
Yeah, you're either spun or you spin.
Yeah.
There's no two ways. You either be spun or you spin your own reality. You weave your own reality. You make your own tapestry.
Exactly.
And that is when you find your head, you're no longer an animal. You can weave your own tapestry. You can create your own reality. But to do that, you have to walk through. You have to part the seas like Moses and get your head.
Sure. So.
He is with his head, the purple head. That's so well done. Your pictures are just incredible, Lars. Wow. Wow. So yeah, you got to get your purple heads.
Okay.
Sure.
User 13 is asking, any advice for those of us in the Saturn return?
Well, it depends where your Saturn return is. Well, you mean those of you who've got Saturn in Capricorn?
Yeah, I think user 13 is now on his Saturn return, so.
So, well, this is going to be a great time for you because you are of that true creation, and you can, yeah, you've just got to balance your heart. You have to do, it's impossible to just give advice like that because you have to see the whole chart. But you guys are going to love this time. You're made for this time. I know my daughter's doing really well on her first Saturn return. Both my children are already on another planet. They're both. You're so cool as cucumbers. You're so lucid, Saturn in Capricorn gang. And yeah, those of you who are born in 62 as well, that time you've all got a Saturn return, a second Saturn return. You guys are so ready for now too. And all the, yeah, it's a great time for you guys. You just don't get afraid and just accept that that lucid grown-up energy is the way to be.
Yeah, so I recommend user 13 books a reading with you or Lars to know more about his Saturn return.
Exactly, Lars or I, exactly.
Okay. Armageddon Consciousness is asking, should people be especially vigilant between the 3rd of March and the 22nd of March?
I think that we don't have to be vigilant. We just have to stay in our heart. But yes, I mean, it's all, if I have showed in my videos, if you go and look up the Bridget Jones deleted scenes, they have a scene of her showing a presentation of a book on the 3rd of March, and it's going through, it's called The Red Door, and she makes the presentation. It says you're either going to be very, very, very happy or very, very scared. So I'm thinking that, you know, we really are, maybe something's going to happen going through this bullseye. I think that we're not to be vigilant, but just to be very centered. We really are going through that's why they've got Tiger Woods having that accident. We're going through the eye of the tiger. This is the eye of the tiger. This is Jupiter in Capricorn, orange black. The last leg, I mean, it's such a wonderful time in history, and we're only a few people who really know what's going on. It's very exciting, but those of us who are in that beautiful space, like in David Bowie's song, Ground Control to Major Tom, we're in our love space, we're looking down at Earth, we're above.
So to be vigilant is just to be alert. As don't buy into it. Stay centered, as Victoria is saying.
Yeah, stay detached from the whole theater.
Sure. As much as possible. Sure. Next question. Any more?
Yeah, Fiona Kearns is asking, if for some reason we or I don't make it through, when's the next time we get a chance?
You're constantly able to cut. There's, and I think we can move in and out. Maybe I'll fall. You know, it's not a permanent. As long as we're here, we're breathing and we go up and down. We get these wonderful moments where we're able to keep that middle place. But you know, all of us are trying our best. There's no, and as I said, we're all at different stages. But I think that there is a point when you become so good at it, you don't ever fall below again. It's like what I was saying, when I was young, between the ages of 20 and 30, I think I was already in that state of place, but I wasn't conscious. So I had to fall really low to pass through again, but this time consciously. from the age of 20, 30, I was manifesting. My life seemed perfect and and everything. You know, I was so strong. I was such a strong young woman. And then I've just fallen for 20 years, and now I'm coming through again. But it was a conscious effort. It was through, I think I'd had a very difficult childhood. I had a gap. If you go backwards and forwards until you're conscious of what you're doing and you can hold that place, like Solomon holding the pillars open.
Right.
You're holding the jaw of the lion open. You can keep that balance between the lion heart and the Aquarius innocence. The lion lies down with the lamb. There's a balance.
Right. So basically, when you fall back again, it kind of shines a light on your blind spots, so you can crawl back to it again. I think, but
I think
consciously.
it's just a real
sure can.
balance.
Yeah, but every time you fall back, and the more and more conscious you become, the easier it will be to stand up again and drop the fear and move on. And next time you fall, it's much easier to raise again.
Yeah.
Because one gets aware of it.
Exactly, and it shows you exactly where you don't want to be in life.
Yes, it does.
Exactly.
Talking about my own life as well.
Okay.
Defeat makes one strong if one knows where to look for it, the strength in it.
Right.
The best teachers is always those who's the hardest on us.
Exactly. That's why you see people who have had a lot of trouble in their life are in general more prone to growth and expanding their consciousness than people who have smooth sailing their whole life, because they don't stand still and ask questions to themselves.
Sure. Some will fall through the gap. They can't stand up. They will bail out before they get the vaccines or whatever.
Right.
That's how it goes.
I think that was the last question. I don't know if does any of you in the chat have any more questions or?
Cool. I'm tired. So.
No, I don't think there are any more questions. So.
Good. So, Victoria.
Well, darlings, thank you so much, Lars and Jacob. We're going to add the site, Lars's sites. So
and his YouTube channel.
Discover, put Lars's site. All of us, we should send a little donation to Lavette's. She must be going through a hard time.
Yeah.
And anyone and you put your stuff too if anyone wants to donate to you, Jacob darling, as well. And we'll be back in 2 weeks.
Awesome. Thank you all.
Yeah,
I also shared Lars's website and YouTube channel in the chat already, but I will put it in the description also.
Cool.
And I also want to thank everyone in the chat for their lovely conversations and also for helping each other.
Oh, you're so lovely,
so
Jacob.
Cool.
Thanks so much for being there, Jacob, with us. Thank you for making it possible. And thank you, Lars, for your wisdom and patience.
Most patience. That's good enough. Yeah, thank you, Victoria. Thank you, Jacob.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you for the chat.
Yes, we will see you in 2 weeks.
We will. So,
much love, everyone. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Have fun through the bullseye. Bye. Love you.